CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Chevrolet. America is on the move, and Chevrolet is supplying the wheels. Chevrolet and you taking charge. AT&T, the more you hear, the better we sound. And by GMAC, the financing people from General Motors.
Shotgun side up.
Welcome back to New York. I'm Brent Musburger with Dick Vermeil. Low-scoring game so far, 7-all at the half. And, Dick, what a difference in coaching philosophies along the sideline. John Robinson marches up and down like he's a chairman of the board over there.
Well, he has an offensive coordinator calling the offense and a defensive coordinator calling the defense, while on the other side of the field, Tom Landry calls all the offense, and a defensive coach calls all the defense.
How about Jimmy Ray, who's calling the plays for the Rams? His background, Dick, what does he bring to the game now for Robinson?
Well, he was at Atlanta and did a very good job there for Lehman Bennett. And he's doing a good job in redesigning the Ram offense and with the one-back attack that we've seen here in the first half. And he's really having fun with it. I've talked to him a few times this year when we broadcast our football games, and he's really having fun with it, and he really is thankful for the opportunity to direct an offense.
Good call for a Ram touchdown. Let's take a look at it.
Very
David Hill.
call.
This was a play the Cowboys didn't expect to see.
You see him came across in motion there, and David Hill goes to the corner, the right-hand corner of your screen. He lays it up there nicely, sort of a meet-me-at-the-corner type thing, and a defensive back might have blown the coverage in this due to the motion. It's really hard to tell from the replay.
David, of course, is the brother of Jim Hill, who works for CBS Sports, not only in Los Angeles, but here with the network. Big problem for the Cowboys, Dick, has been hanging on to the football. Let's take a look at their major problem.
4 drop balls. Here's Bush Johnson dropping one on a key third down situation. If you're going to keep the ball moving and score more than 7 points, you're going to have to make those catches. That's all there is to it, Brent.
Now, we come to another 4th down situation. What is it about this season? Joe Gibbs, Tom Landry. This was a long 4th and 2. In fairness to Coach Robinson, it would have been a long field goal for Lansford. But how do you look at what Robinson faced in that situation?
Well, it's easy to criticize and analyze sitting here. I say this basically. The overall approach is if you have control of the ball game physically and emotionally, don't do anything that would give them an edge either physically or emotionally before you come in at half, and it backfired on them right here.
What I want to know about this play is there was a man open in the middle, Dick. Do you think he had an option, or did he simply have to throw it back?
I think when you have a running back throw the ball back on a surprise gimmick play just like this one, you're throwing to a designated receiver.
All right, now the one man who has held onto the ball today is Tony Hill, and here he goes for the score.
He's been super. He comes down here to the right-hand corner of your screen. He runs a little post pattern, coming inside right there on Eric Harris for the touchdown. Dallas loves that play. They probably run that post pattern better than anybody in football, and they probably run it more than anybody in football.
All right, we'll take a look at what might occur in the second half as we continue with the NFL today on CBS right after these messages from your local stations. Dick, you know, before John Robinson took up the reins as coach of the Rams, he served very briefly as vice president in charge of alumni affairs at USC. So it certainly was not surprising that when he suddenly needed a person to center the ball for punts, he checked the USC alumni directory, and he made a snap decision to round up one of his old Trojans, Mike McDonald.
When we lost our center this last week, you look around for guys that can snap, and there aren't a lot of them on the street that can do that and are proven that they can do it, and he's one of them, so we called him.
He said our center took a knee, and we may need you. Come down and see if you still got it. I said, okay. Ready, John? Yeah.
Now, McDonald was the long snapper for 4 years at USC, but he last tasted action in the '80 Rose Bowl game, and then John called.
I sell insurance, but right now my insureds are going to have to take a couple of weeks off and not get in any accidents because their agent won't be around. I was also trying to get on the Glendale Fire Department, but the poor folks are going to have to wait for a while.
And right now, it's the Rams who have an emergency, and McDonald to the rescue.
It's everybody's dream to play pro football. I mean, every little kid that's grown up has played Pop Warner football, high school football, all the awards you get. It's a dream come true, like you say. It's unbelievable.
And here is the dream come true this afternoon for number 63. His long snaps have been right on the mark. Perfect so far. And you know what he gets paid for this today, folks? Even if the Rams lose, he's guaranteed a check of $8,000. Listen, how difficult is it to find someone who can snap the ball on punts and field goals?
You know, it's amazing, Brent, because your centers aren't all drafted out of college football or signed as free agents, and then all of a sudden, you're drafting the right guard and all these guys, but they weren't the long snappers. And you get into a pro training camp, And it's amazing how many times you get a distress call from a training camp across the country. Hey, we don't have a long snapper other than the person that we had doing it last year. Do you know where a guy is? It's amazing how many times that happens.
Let's focus now on what might happen in the second half. Let's check in on Eric Dickerson, his style, what he's done against the Cowboy defense so
Well,
far.
he's done real well going outside. He's a great ricochet runner. See him bounce off and get to the outside now. The offensive line has done a good job of stick and stay, and he has that good ability to accelerate, make people miss, and get on the perimeter of the defense. And a nice run. He does it again, though, coming back to the outside here to the left, and I think they'd be better off through the second half of staying outside with him in the ball. Here he is tossing the ball to the right of the screen now, to his left. Nice blocks right there by Bill Bain on Martin, and he had him hooked, and he overran the play, and he cuts back up in that nice hole. Does a real good job. He's tackled from behind.
Dick, I think it was Paul Zimmerman in Sports Illustrated who made the great observation that of all the great running backs, this fella, Dickerson, probably catches the ball coming out of the backfield better than any of them.
You know, you watch him, you see those glasses on underneath the face mask, and you don't think he could see the football, but he knows where it is at all times. Then he has the nice soft hands.
I thought the Cowboys in this next sequence were able to confuse Ferragamo with a blitz from one direction. He hasn't been picking it up.
Well, they got him to the blind side. He did not see it coming. See the left corner of your screen, you can see Clinkscale coming right in there right now, and it's the quarterback's job on the overload blitz situation to handle that problem by getting rid of it, because he's the one guy that can see it.
And, of course, the stat that John Madden and Pat Summerall keep talking about is Tony Dorsett is having a very poor game here. In fact, he's had 3 bad games together.
3 in a row. The last 2 ball games, he's had a hard time. He's having a hard time right here. They're having a tough time, as John said during the ball game, of blocking the nose guard. And he's coming inside out and making the play. In that case, it was Charles DeJournay, number 70. And you've got to block the nose guard if you're going to run the ball against that 30 defense.
But, you know, momentum seems to have changed, if we can use that cliche. After the 4th and 2, the Cowboys come down and tie it. The crowd is picked up in Texas Stadium. Do you think the Cowboys now will take charge of the game, Coach?
Well, I think there's 2 good football teams playing out there. I would say that the Dallas Cowboys have the advantage coming into this second half, based on their playoff experience, based on Danny White being under the fire in the second half, and Dallas is a better second half football team. I'd have to give the advantages to Dallas.
Of course, San Francisco, they would probably be pulling for the Cowboys to lose. They would draw Detroit next week rather than Dallas. Dallas going to San Francisco a little angry, wouldn't they?
Yeah, you know, they've already motivated him for that ball game. I think if I were Bill Walsh in San Francisco, I'd rather play Detroit.
Washington sits and waits. Does that hurt a team? They don't know who they're going to be playing, or do they just simply need the rest? They're so good.
I think the team that gets the rest has the real advantage. Yeah, I mean, it makes a difference of night and day in your football, the team's quickness, heck, your coaching staff's freshness in approach, and they had some time with their families, and they're all of a sudden starting a new season with a rest, and I think that's a big advantage.
Dick, we had another story regarding the United States Football League. It confirmed a long-time rumor, and that is that Brian Sipe has signed a contract with the New Jersey Generals, and I think he probably signed that contract sometime back in November when he visited with Donald Trump here in New York. Sipe leaves, and that means that Paul McDonald will take over with the Browns. You might recall he had a contract problem. He at first accepted it, and then, of course, after Wilson with the Raiders got a lot more money, McDonald said, I want more. Well, last week, his agent was able to negotiate the contract with the Browns. It's been signed by McDonald, so Sipe goes to the United States Football League. McDonald takes over the Browns. We've got a second half still to come down in Dallas. We'll be hearing from Pat Summerall and John Madden. So let's return you now for the second half. Pat?
It is 7-7 as the Cowboys stop the Rams' attempt on a 4th down play. A very significant factor, I think, so far in this game. They held the Rams. They took the ball, drove down the field, and scored the tying touchdown.
You know, it's something that, you know, what that 4th down does. The fans always yell, you know, go for it, go for it, go for it. And, you know, if you do and you make it, it's great. But when you don't, it always seems to come back and haunt you. Remember, we were talking about it. Here's the play. Now, it was 4th down, so they tried a trick play. You know, they know that the whole defense was going to be keying on Dickerson. They did. He throws back right here to Hill. But I'll tell you, the guy who was really alert was Dennis Thurman. He didn't go for it, and this is what John Robinson felt.
There is another significant factor, I think, John, and you agree that if the Rams are going to be able to throw the ball in the second half, they're going to have to block that one particular blitz.
I think so, especially on the passing downs, and it'll probably get to that before this thing's over. 7-7 at halftime. I think in the 4th quarter we could see some type of shootout. Now, when you get in a shootout, the defense knows you're going to throw, so they're going to give you the pass defense, and I could see the Cowboys going to that 4-0. Now, every time they've done it so far, they've blitzed Dexter Clinkscale. The Rams have yet to pick him up. So I think it's very important at halftime that they talk about that and get that thing settled.
And I'm sure they have made some effort at making an adjustment at least. The half, 7-7, and it should be an exciting second half coming up. Still no rain, and the weather's not that bad.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Subaru. Inexpensive and built to stay that way. Anheuser-Busch St. Louis Brewers of Michelob. Some things speak for themselves. And by K-Care, where quality automotive parts and service are Kmart priced.
Ready to go with the second half. Pat Summerall, John Madden, 7-7 tie. Lansford, who kicks extra points and field goals with a shoe off, kicks off with a shoe on. Lines it to the left. Ron Fellows watches it go out of bounds, and the Rams will have to do it from the 30-yard line instead of the 35. Comparative yards in the first half. Total of 156 for the Rams, 148 for Dallas, but only 28 yards on the ground for the Cowboys.
You know, it's funny that I really feel that the Cowboys get confidence from running, and they really didn't run very well, 28 yards in the first half. In fact, that's poor, but they got their confidence in another way. I think they got it when the Rams went for that fourth down. Didn't get it. They said, hey, we got some life here. Let's go.
Dickerson had a good first half, 12 carries, 70 yards. Dorsett, 8 times for 24, not up to his standards. Eric Dickerson over on the sideline. Those mittens he won't wear when he's carrying the ball, I don't think.
Now look, he got the towel, the mittens, the arm pads, the wrist tape, the whole doggone thing. I think anything that equipment man has, Eric Dickerson wants some of it.
This will be Fellows from the 12 or 13. Fellows out of the pack. Fellows to the 45, maybe 46. Lansford, the kicker, knocked him down. Good return by Fellows.
Sometimes you can really get a lot of life from your special teams. You know, the game, the thing, they have to set a pattern. Special teams, your return teams, they set patterns. You know, if you get down there and stop them inside the 20, it's a big play. But if you let them get out to midfield like Ron Fellows just did, that can give your whole team a lift.
So it's first down, Cowboys, their own 46. First play from scrimmage, second half, 7-7 tie. Drew Pearson in motion, and White fakes to Dorsett, now rolls out, chased by Youngblood. Gets the ball to Ron Springs and gets into Ram territory with a Dallas first down. Eric Harris knocked him out of bounds. 12-yard pickup, first down, Cowboys.
That was a good fake to the inside. It's a bootleg. We watch this. Danny White is going to fake inside here to Tony Dorsett. Now he'll roll out here to the right. He gets out beyond Youngblood. He finds Ron Springs there. See, he had the linebacker in a bind. If the linebacker comes up to stop the run as he did, he pops Springs. If the linebacker stays back, Danny White could have ran the ball.
That was one of those plays where they pull linemen in opposite directions. That time Cooper went to the left and the rest of them went to the right. The handoff is to Dorsett. He is down inside the Ram 40 to about the 38 before Carl Eckern takes him down. By the way, Tony Hill has caught 7 passes. That's in the first half alone, and that ties a Dallas playoff record.
Watch, here's Doug Cosby. He's going to come and trap in the middle. Here he is right here. See, he's coming and getting the trap that's going to free Dorsett. Watch him here. They get trapped from runway. You see, he starts in there for the Mac. He leads up on the linebacker, and Dorsett comes in behind him.
Second down and 4, and White gets it outside to Butch Johnson, and Butch Johnson motioning to his blockers. Didn't see George Andrews coming. Andrews has laid a couple of tough hits on Butch Johnson today. Short of a first down by about a yard, 3rd and 1.
You know, we talk about confidence and emotion and those types of things, and they're easy to talk about, but that doesn't mean that it always takes within a team. And you need plays. Ultimately, eventually, you have to do it on the field. I think they got some confidence from the Rams, and I think they got some more from Ron Fellows on that kickoff return.
Short yardage, 3rd and 1. Cosby in motion, and this is Dorsett. He has the first down. Nolan Cromwell led the Ram defense, but Dorsett nevertheless got the first down. That's that short yardage setup where Phil Posderick, the backup tackle, moves inside, and Donovan goes to tight end. And now Donovan is out of the game, and Posderick stays.
Well, Donovan has to go out of the game because he moves from ineligible receiver to eligible. Then he can't move back to ineligible until he goes out for one play. He'll be in the next play.
So Posderick plays this one. The counter play to Dorsett, and Dorsett again twirls inside the 25. Jim Collins made the stop.
I'll tell you, it's another good block, this time by Doug Cosby. He just starts in there, and he's going to come into the picture. Then he's going to lead right up in here. Dorsett, a little counter move, and he'll come right in here behind Cosby. Now watch Doug Cosby come there. He leads on the linebacker right there. You see the hole he gets for Dorsett? Dorsett just runs right inside of Cosby.
Good job by Doug. 2nd down and 3. Dorsett got 7. They go with 2 tight ends. They give again to Dorsett, who almost lost the ball. Reggie Doss hit him shy of a first down. It's going to be 3rd and about 2.
Well, that's what a defensive end has to do, what Reggie Doss just did there. The Cowboys were working the inside run. So you don't have to keep your ends outside. So they can come down and start pinching and closing that inside.
Dorsett hit hard, holding his stomach, left the game, and Timmy Newsom has taken his place. So it's Springs and Newsom. They don't go to the spread. Vital throw. Intended for Cosby, knocked away by Leroy Irvin. And Septien is already on the field.
I'll tell you, and that's good coverage by Leroy Irvin, because that would have been a first down. And again, we've talked about this before. On that 3rd and 3 or 4 or 5, Doug Cosby is really Danny White's favorite receiver because he's big, he's 6'6". He can watch him all the way, which he did on that play. And Leroy Irvin watched Cosby all the way.
So Septien, number 1, will try from 42 yards out with Glenn Carano holding. Raphael's had a good year. Got it. So for the first time today, with 11:01 remaining 3rd quarter, the Cowboys take the lead, 10-7 over the Rams.
Hi, I'm Rafael Septien from the Dallas Cowboys, and this is my wife, Linda, and we want to wish you happy holidays. And from my Spanish-speaking friends, Feliz Navidad y Próspero Año Nuevo.
Happy holidays.
The man from whom you just heard just converted from 42 yards out to give the Cowboys the lead for the first time today. Septien will kick off now. Good kick. Henry Eller at the 1. Cowboys down quickly. Everson Walls and Bill Bates down. Walls knocked him out of bounds, and Bates applied the pressure. The Rams, first half possessions. The first time they got it, they started at their own 15 and took it the length of the field, 85 yards, as a matter of fact. And you can see what happened to him the rest of the time. Tony Dorsett has a bruised hand, but he should be able to continue. Got on those warm gloves. 1st and 10. Rams operating from their own 21-yard line. Vince Ferragamo appears to be changing plays. They go again on quick count. They give to Dickerson. Chased by Harvey Martin. He gets away from Harvey, but enough to get him out of bounds by Michael Downs and Bob Brunig. Maybe a yard.
That's one of the defensive plays against the run that will really please Tom Landry, Ernie Stotner, the defensive staff, because that's the way the flex is supposed to be played, where everyone is straight down the line. There's no cut up. You can't get to the outside. You can't turn up, nor can you cut back against the grain. You had the whole thing right down the line of scrimmage.
They give Dickerson 2, so it's 2nd and 8. They have Farmer and Preston Denard both lined up to the right side. That's Denard in motion. Ferragamo back to throw. To Dickerson. Cut down by Everson Wall. Not a fumble.
Ferragamo's pass complete to Eric Dickerson. He was picked up by Everson Wall.
You know, one of the tough things to do against the Cowboys is throw to your right. Offensively, your right. Because Too Tall Jones is over on that side, and even when he gets blocked, he has that timing thing where he can jump up, and you always have to throw. When you throw to your right, you always have to throw around Too Tall.
Remember what we were talking about at the half. Cowboys are now with the extra defensive backs in. They had blitzed Clinkscale earlier. This time it doesn't look like they'll do it. Ferragamo back to throw. Pass is caught by Barber, the tight end of a Ram first down. No blitz by Dallas. 9-yard gain, good enough for a first.
I'm really surprised at that. I've always had the philosophy that if you do something and they don't pick it up, you continue to do it until they stop you. Now, they had not picked up that blitz from the right side there by Clinkscale. This time they didn't do it. The Rams picked up everything, completed the pass to Mike Barber, and got the first down. I always believe that thing. You stay with it until they make you stop it.
Does make sense. Rams have it at the 35, their own. Fake to Dickerson. Ferragamo under pressure again. Pass is caught by George Farmer, and what a catch. Covered by Everson Walls, but Ferragamo. Great composure hanging in there and getting the ball to Farmer.
I'll tell you, and he was able to do that by a little roll, but watch George Farmer out there. This is good coverage. Everson Walls has him. You see, he pushes him to the outside. Now he's waiting for the inside cut. He runs with him. Farmer keeps going. Now Walls extends out there, but Farmer caught the ball just by working back right there at the end.
First down, Rams now in Dallas territory. The Cowboy 47, Mike Gooman in front of Dickerson. They go to Dickerson. Dickerson hammered as he got to the 45 by Anthony Dickerson, the first man to hit him.
Anthony Dickerson, John Dutton, and Randy White.
Dickerson saying, boy, those guys hit hard.
Jeff Kemp
A gain of 2 yards.
calling the signals over on the sideline. Second down and 7 or 8. Clock running with 8 minutes left to play.
You don't see that Randy White wearing any long underwear. You see that? Those bare arms out there come ready to play. Down there in the pitch, you don't get cold when you got a lot of emotion going through those veins.
Ferragamo intended for Dickerson under heavy pressure by Anthony Dickerson. He just threw it up in the air to keep from being sacked. That's one thing he is very, very
See if the Cowboys go back to it with Clinkscale on this play. I would think they would, or should.
It's 3rd and long, and here comes Clinkscale strolling up, this time to the outside. After Ferragamo. Pass interference is going to be called against the Cowboys. It's Dennis Thurman. It was Preston Denard. Now they're saying maybe it's offensive interference.
I think it is offensive. Preston Denard on that play pushed Dennis Thurman, although they did blitz Clinkscale and they didn't pick it up. Now watch him. He's the inside guy here. There's Thurman, 32. He got his hand up on him. I didn't see Denard push Thurman. I did see Thurman push Denard.
Number 88, offense, declined, 4th down.
I must have missed something there.
I must have, too. It is declined, however.
I thought Thurman pushed Denard, didn't you?
What it looked like.
Huh, interesting.
Gary Allen is the
Misko standing back at the 40. Gary Allen back at the Dallas 10. And do a lot of pointing and motioning as Gooman looks to see if Misko is ready. Good high kick, and Allen goes up with the fair catch signal. Tough chance. Rams got it, I think. The Rams come up with a turnover. No, Dallas has it. The Rams are hopping mad. A 29-yard punt bobbled by Allen, and John Robinson is also upset. And they're still arguing.
The officials are in a conference now. I think they've changed it, Pat. They're going to give it to the Rams.
Rams, legal recovery this way.
John Robinson was out on the field. Gordon Carter said, I was wrong, and the ball goes this way. Let's watch.
It looked like he was given a fair signal, a fair catch signal. He did. He dropped the ball, and the Rams recover it right there. You can see that they have it. I don't know why they gave it to the Cowboys initially.
Mike Wiltshire is the man who made the recovery, number 94. And so the Rams get the first turnover of the game and take over at the Dallas 16. The Cowboys leading by the score of 10-7, but the Rams back in business. Dickerson up close to Ferragamo again. He blocks. Touchdown. Preston Denard from Ferragamo. Dennis Thurman was the defender, but the Rams moved back in front.
Well, the Rams know that the Cowboys play man-to-man defense. So what they want to do, they put Dickerson up there, say, give me protection. Then they let Denard run a corner pattern. John Robinson said the two things we can do, we can run post patterns and corner patterns. Now here's a corner pattern. Watch Denard. Outside guy, starts inside on Thurman. He sells him on the post. Great move to the inside, then goes back out to the corner, and that throw was about as perfect as you can get.
It really was. Preston Denard puts the Rams back in front. Oh, a great pass by Ferragamo.
He really sold him on that post move.
That was a good move. Lansford makes it Rams 14, Cowboys 10. 7:23 left to play. Third quarter.
See, again, the Cowboys are playing man-to-man. Let's watch that play again. And we'll see Denard here. He's still getting his congratulations. We're going to see the throw here. We'll see the pass protection. Now they pick up the blitz. Finally, that thing, Dickerson there, they got him. But he really sold Thurman, and that's why he beat him so much. Thurman thought that he was going inside, and he went out.
Here's John Robinson's reaction. Very happy, as you would expect. The Rams lead by 4. Down pass from Ferragamo, and the Rams recapture the lead, 14-10. Lansford's kick is short. Fellows. It springs, not Fellows. Ron Springs up to about the 32-yard line.
Let's watch the touchdown one more time here, but the thing that makes it is the fake of the post. Now watch Denard as he comes down here. Watch right there. You see the move he made inside? That held Thurman. Then he cuts back to the outside, and again, he gets a perfect throw. But he sold Thurman on the post. Thurman says he's going to the post, he's going to the post. Denard says, nope, I'm going to corner.
The turnovers. Look at this. And that Ram touchdown that Denard just scored was set up by a turnover. Look what happened to the Cowboys in the first 14 games, first 13 games, and in the last 3. First down, Dallas. Pitches back to Dorsett. Dorsett tries to cut back inside. It's Meisner. But Youngblood did a good job of stringing it out.
Again, that's the real defense. You need someone to string it out. Then the nose tackle. See him? Watch Meisner. He's there. He takes on the center. Rafferty comes right down the line, stays inside. He stays inside, so there's no cutback. Dorsett starts to cut back, and the nose tackle is right there waiting for it. That's 2 pit guys, huh? Meisner against Dorsett.
Second down and 9 with just over 6.5 minutes left to play. Third quarter. Rams leading 14-10. White. Tony Hill. That's his 8th reception of the day. Eric Harris, the tackler. 16 yards, and Tony Hill has a new Dallas playoff record with 8 catches. had shared that record of 7 with Preston Pearson, Drew Pearson, Timmy Newsom, and Billy Parks. First down, Cowboys, their own 49. Call it the 55 left to play in the third quarter. Rams up 14-10. There's the book on Tony Hill. Fake to Springs. Complete to Dorsett. And Dorsett got maybe 4, perhaps more than that. Jim Collins made the tackle. As White faked to Springs and then hit Dorsett.
I think what they were trying to do is just use that as a run, that type of thing, that quick screen out there, tackle, pull, boom, you get your halfback, hit them outside, try and get them up the field. Rams are playing pretty good defense.
Yes, they are.
They really are. They're playing a team defense. And, they don't have a dominating player on that team, one guy that's going to take over, but they play pretty well as a team, as a group.
Second down, and White will try to throw. Tony Hill dropped it. It is incomplete. He was juggling as he went out of bounds. Eric Harris was the defender.
I tell you, they're working over there on Eric Harris with Tony Hill. He's been catching a lot of things in front of him. Now Eric Harris looks like he's starting to tighten up a little. You see, and he's able to get a hand in there. But, Tony Hill did catch that ball. I don't know if he had both feet. That didn't look like a bobble to me. That official was going like that, boom, 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 bobble.
The official up at the top of the picture looked a long time.
Let's see that right there. He caught that ball. Didn't he?
He is still scrambling for it at the end. I don't think he had it, really. After we look at it again, here comes the Rams on a blitz. That's Butch Johnson. White gets the ball to him at the Ram 34. Johnny Johnson made the stop. 12 yards, however, and another Dallas first down. Rams 14, Cowboys 10. Clock continues to run. 4:40 left, third quarter.
I think Butch Johnson may be the only receiver that's not wearing gloves today. At least to the Cowboys, all the other guys are wearing gloves. Butch is going out there raw hands.
You can catch it better with raw hands, I'm convinced.
I am too, because that's the way you practice all the time.
First down, Cowboys at the Ram 34. Los Angeles leading 14-10. Here comes the blitz on White. He stays on his feet and now goes down. Mel Owens came around the outside. That's the second sack of Danny White, and nobody picked him up.
That's one thing. The Rams don't blitz a lot. So I think what happens is sometimes the team gets in and they say, well, they aren't going to blitz. Then you bring an outside guy like Mel Owens from the top of the screen. He'll come back in right here, and no one picks him up. They don't get him blocked because they don't expect him to come.
They double-teamed Youngblood, and nobody blocked Mel Owens. They had Richards and Jim Cooper on Youngblood, and Owens was loose. 2 sacks apiece. It's second down and long. White goes back. No blitz this time. Picked off. Jim Collins comes up with the interception for the Rams. Turnover number 2.
I'll tell you, that's just a zone defense. 2 inside linebackers, Eckern and Collins. They'll just drop deep. They aren't playing man-to-man, just dropping deep and watching the quarterback. Here's Collins. He's number 50. See, now he's not playing anyone. He's just coming straight back, facing the quarterback. He's watching Danny White's eyes. He sees him pump. He just steps right in front of Cosby. Boom, he gets the ball. Go the other way.
Danny White never looked at Jim Collins, and he comes up with the second Ram turnover. They lead by 4. Oh, those dreaded turnovers. Dallas has 2. The Rams have none today. Rams just got their second with that interception. And look at this. Last 3 games, they are -9. It's hard to be in the playoffs or stay in the playoffs with that kind of reading. First and 10 Rams, their own 45. Ferragamo back to Dickerson. They've got him hemmed up at the pass. It is Bob Brunig and Bill Bates and Randy White who converge after Dickerson got maybe 2 yards. Mike Barber, the tight end, still down. John Robertson hustling down to check on how he's doing. I think John Robinson, if you visit with him several times, and of course you know him, John, for a long, long time, has got this game in pretty proper perspective.
I think he has the whole thing. You know, he's a first-year NFL coach, and he knows what has to be done, and he's doing it.
According to a highly respected. Here you can see perhaps what happened to Barber.
Right there, we can see that Barber's going down there. Watch that. He gets kicked in the head as he's down on the ground. He's up and off the field now.
Still a little bit stunned, but he's sitting down over on the Ram bench and seems to be okay. David Hill has taken his place at tight end. It's Gooman and Dickerson in the backfield, and Gooman in motion. Ferragamo going to throw, just gets rid of it. Has a man open, can't handle it. It's Preston Denard, who was wide open, and what a move he put on.
I'll tell you, he had Dennis Thurman, I think it was just backing up there. Watch it here. We'll see him. He's in the outside guy. Now watch Thurman. He just keeps running. Thurman thinks it's up, it's up, it's up. He's going deep. Look at him. He just keeps running. Denard stops. He's the only guy in the picture. Oh, and he drops the ball. You know why? He caught it inside, too close to his body, and it hit his shoulder pads and bounced out. He threw it up in the air, and the official caught it.
Disgusted about that. 3rd and long, 3rd and 7. 2:54 left to play, third quarter. Cowboys not showing blitz. Herman comes with Denard again. Incomplete as Bates is with Hill. And there's a penalty marker down. It's going to be interference called against Bates.
Pass interference. Number 40 on the defense. First down.
Boy, that's a tough thing for a defender. You know, they're man-to-man as the Cowboys are. We see 40 here, Bill Bates. He's covering David Hill. Now watch, Hill starts to the outside. And the thing is he can't touch him before the ball gets there. I don't know.
That's another pretty close one.
I know. That looked like pretty good coverage to me.
First down Rams, the Dallas 42. Clock stopped, 2:50 on that penalty. 2:50 left third quarter. Rams 14, Cowboys 10. Ferragamo to Dickerson. Dickerson nudges for 2 or 3, and there's a little exchange going on between Randy White and someone. Kent Hill, I suppose.
I think Bill Bates was in there and started it.
Probably.
I think he did. I think he started it, and then Randy White got in there. What did they used to call Bill Bates in the 6th grade?
The bully of the schoolyard. No penalty flags are dropped on this one, however. The clock does run. Continues now with 2:25 left to play, third quarter. Los Angeles 14, the Cowboys 10. Rams win, they go to Washington. Cowboys win, they go to San Francisco. Dickerson the lone setback. Give this to Dickerson. Dickerson shakes one tackle. Bates stays with his feet and takes him down.
And that was the reason that Tom Landry started Bill Bates today. He just said in the secondary we weren't doing it. He said, and we have to. Now, what the Rams are trying to do is get Dickerson into that secondary and have him miss, but Bates made the tackle.
Short yardage for the Rams. Barber comes back. David Hill stays, and so does James McDonald, number 83. The ex-basketball player who they have high hopes for. Think they might be up to something here? Like a pass, a play pass?
I would think so.
They give back to Dickerson. He has the first down. Dickerson knocked out of bounds by Downs, but Dickerson gets down to the 15, and the Rams do get the first down.
Because if you have a guy like Eric Dickerson, you don't need stuff like passes and tricks and stuff. And John Robinson probably said, the last time I had a short yardage, I tried that stuff. this time I'm going to give it to my best running back. I'm going to let him run the ball, pull my center out there, pull some other guys out there, let him get around that corner for a first down.
18 carries, 104 yards for Dickerson.
And someone had to block Bates, and watch it right there. It's Mike Gooman. That's a heck of a collision. That was a 72 on the collision chart.
Up close to Ferragamo is Redden. That usually means he's going to throw it. He does. Pass is incomplete. Harrison Walls was covering George Farmer. Farmer thought he had it. Incomplete, however.
I tell you, I think Ferragamo showed the strength of his arm on that play. That thing was like it was shot out of a rifle. Didn't stay in the air very long.
Second and 10, a first down incompletion. On first down now, Ferragamo is 5 out of 10. 2 of them, however, have been for touchdowns. It's Redden back behind Ferragamo. The pitch is back to Redden. He is cut down after a gain of a couple by Harvey Martin and Randy White.
Well, John, get Eric Dickerson back in there. I don't think you come all the way down. There you go. Okay.
Here comes Dickerson.
I don't think you go all the way down the field there and then get in position to score and have him watching with mittens on.
He's without mittens at the moment. Big Jackie Slater, number 78. Tom Landry. You know, I wouldn't have thought he would wear that coat. That's the same coat he wore last year in Washington when the Redskins eliminated Dallas in the NFC Championship game. This goes to show you he's not very superstitious, doesn't it?
He doesn't think about things like that.
No. Probably why he's lasted so long. That's Hill in motion, and this is Ferragamo quickly. They got the first down inside the Dallas 5. It's Preston Denard again. This goes back to that other pass when he scored a touchdown.
Here it is right here. It's a slant. I think it's going to be. Here it is right here. He's on the outside now. This is Ron Fellows out there playing. He's going to start in just right down the line. Boom. Hit him right there. But there was a penalty on the play. I think it was one of those deals where there's a penalty on both sides or something, huh?
Must be. So it'll be first and goal for the Rams at the 3.
No fouls occurred after the play was over. We've got the first down, goal to go. Penalties off.
Hara and Smirik are the 2 number 60s involved.
That's right.
First down.
That's that dumb penalty, you know, where they get in a fight and they just give them penalties against both sides and nothing happens. That's the dumbest thing they do, I think.
Newman and Dickerson are the 2 backs. It's first and goal, Rams. The Cowboy 3. Flag is down again as Dickerson walks into the end zone.
Dickerson carries into the end zone. Now right flag is down.
That was when they blew the whistle before the ball was snapped.
Number 60, Anya.
Hara pulled early.
Gee, that's a bad time for Harry. He had the fight on the play before, and then he wants to get out there early. He is upset. Dennis Hare is one of those emotional guys. Watch him 60 in here. We can see him right there. Dennis, you can't move. Oh, he starts to pull. He said he had to go to the left. He started before the ball was snapped.
So it's still first down back at the 8 now with 9 seconds to play. Third quarter.
Boy, is he upset with himself. You know, he knows that 9-year veterans don't do those types of things.
He is one of the real leaders of the Ram offensive line, particularly. The whole team, for that matter. 9 seconds left to play. Third quarter. Dickerson's the deep back to give to Dickerson. Michael Downs came up to fill the hole quickly. That's a good force by Downs.
Eric Dickerson, he was stopped on the play by Anthony Dickerson and Michael Downs.
That's the end of the third quarter with the score of the Rams 14, the Cowboys 10. We'll return to Texas Stadium after this word from your local station.
Ramirez.
Coats, soothes, and relieves. Pepto-Bismol for most common stomach discomforts.
Summerall and John Madden, Texas Stadium, where the Rams have it 2nd and goal from the 8. John Robinson. Rams leading 14-10. Dickerson back of Ferragamo. It's Denard in motion, and Ferragamo to throw. Has some time and fires. Farmer. Touchdown. What a catch by Farmer, and another great throw by Ferragamo.
I'll tell you, George Farmer just stopped, and he was falling down. And Ferragamo drilled it right into him as he was falling. He was running that end line in the back of the end zone. He just stopped and started to fall down. Let's see if we can pick it up here. There we see from here, pretty good pass protection. Good job by the offensive line. Ferragamo can pump, he can look. He sees Farmer in the background. You see Farmer stop, starts to fall down, catches the ball. He threw it a little behind him.
Lansford for the extra point now with Nolan Cromwell holding. Rams have taken command. 21-10 in a very quiet Texas Stadium.
John Robinson was telling us that George Farmer may be the most improved player on his team this year. Now watch him. He's going to take the end line, get up on the back line, and now start running straight across. He's open there. The ball's thrown a little behind. He's falling down, catching the ball. That was a great throw and a great catch.
Between the two safety men, Downs and Bates. And a very happy John Robinson as the Rams now lead 21-10 over the Cowboys, and we're in the 4th quarter. Well, the faces change, the numbers change, the people change. But that never changes. Turnovers will eat you up.
Especially if you're playing a good team that when you turn the ball over, they take it and score points with it. And that's what the Rams have just done.
The last 2 turnovers. Lansford kicks to Fellows. Fellows from the 12. It's cut down at just outside the 20 as the Rams do a good job again. Ivory Sully is down there quickly to take him down.
I think right now, Pat, that this could be the biggest series for the Dallas Cowboys right now. 21-10, they're down. I think if they can move the ball down the field, get a score, get back in this thing, then I think things could possibly go their way. I think if they sputter here, they could be in trouble. It could be the end of their season.
Could very well be. 14:46 left to play in the game, so still plenty of time. Tony Dorsett is the lone setback, and now he moves. On a draw play, it is Dorsett. To the 25 as Nolan Cromwell came up with a good tackle.
Tackle on the play made by number 21.
That's a draw play. Now, what they do, now watch Jack Youngblood here. See, they show pass. They get him up the field. Then they come in and they trap him with Herbert Scott, and Dorsett just runs right inside him. See, they influence, make him think it's fast, pull the offside guard, Scott. He kicks him out. Boom, inside.
Only 4 yards, however. So make it 2nd and 6. Cowboys operating from their own 26. White back to throw. Right through the hands of Cosby. Couldn't quite get turned around.
Danny White's pass intended for Doug Cosby, incomplete. 3rd down, 6.
Well, look what the Ram defense has done. The average and what they've done today. Led by Meisner and Youngblood and Reggie Doss. Those 3 guys up front. Danny White operates out of the shotgun, the spread formation. He's 7 out of 11 from this formation. He has Newsom. And Newsom will have the Dallas first down. He's hit by Leroy Irvin, but Newsom hangs on. 10-yard gain, and they move the sticks. Clock continues to run, however, with 13:45 left to play. A lot of concern on that bench.
I tell you, they just haven't been the same since that Redskin game. I think, they went in there sky high, boom, they got everything deflated, and I don't think they've recovered from that game yet.
It certainly doesn't look like it. Of course, the 49er game was devastating, but it was really the Redskin game that did it. Here's White. He gets it out to Springs. Springs goes to the 40, maybe 41. Carl Eckern and Nolan Cromwell. Yeah, you were saying before that the Rams don't really have a dominating person on that defense, but they have played well.
Well, that's one thing that they wanted to do. You know, and John Robinson talked about that. When he took over the job, he says, we want more movement by our defense. He had the feeling that the Ram defense was just kind of standing around and waiting for things to happen. He said, we want movement. You know, and that's what they're getting.
That's Tom Rafferty, the center for the Cowboys, who limps off. Glenn Titensor has taken his place. 2nd down and 5 from the 41-yard line. Titensor, of course, with the Cowboys coming from behind, will have to apparently snap the ball from the spread formation, and I don't know how good he is at that. Rams show blitz. Both those inside linebackers up quickly. White has him back out now. And now they give to Dorsett, and Dorsett has nothing. Reggie Doss puts the clamps on Tony.
I'll tell you, that Reggie Doss is playing a heck of a game. You know, he's a real solid player over there, both as a pass rusher and playing against the run. The Cowboys were trying to get that thing. Watch on the right side of the screen here. See, they get Cosby coming in on the lead, and then Doss plays off the tackle. Donovan, he just picked him up. You see that? He just took his shoulder pad, just threw him to the ground, and then was right there for Dorsett.
Rafferty is back in the game after a one-play vacation, by the way. Donnelly in motion. Here come the Rams, and now too much time. The 30-second clock ran out. The Cowboys will lose 5.
Tell you, that's one of the problems the Cowboys have had, you know, getting that play in and getting it off within the 30-second count.
Walk off the 5.
Poor old Rafferty on that play was saying, what the heck did I come back for? Did you see that?
Delay of game. Number 11, the quarterback. Still 3rd down.
Watch Tom Rafferty, the center. He comes in there, and then Jeter starts on. Now the whistle's blowing, and Jeter just takes him right into the backfield, into the referee, Youngblood, the whole bunch of them.
It was a heated exchange. That's Tony Hill, and Tony Hill got just enough for a Cowboy first down in front of Leroy Irvin. 9 catches for 116 yards for Tony Hill. And they stopped the clock with 11:54 left to play.
I think the Cowboys had that same feeling. You know, we're down 21-10. We have to do something now. We have to get some momentum, some life, something back. And they look like they're starting on that.
Jack Youngblood. A long, rewarding career for him. Quite regular formation this time. In the Dallas 47, throwing on almost every down he has to. Drew Pearson at the Ram 35. First down, Cowboys. Nolan Cromwell made the hit that brought Pearson down.
You know, you don't know if the Rams defense, after they got this lead, have started to loosen up, but I have the feeling that they might. You know, that their zones are a little looser, that they're giving the receivers a little more room in there. That one doesn't look bad there because they sure got there quickly, but from this whole drive, I thought maybe everything kind of loosened up a little, and the Cowboys are taking advantage of it.
The first catch of the day by Drew Pearson. Rams leading 21-10. First down, Cowboys, Ram 34. White on a draw play. Gives to Dorsett. Dorsett to the 22. Mel Owens tripped him up. Enough for another Cowboy first down. 11 yards for Tony. 16 carries, 57 on the day.
This is a heck of a play call here. They've been throwing all the time, as you said, throwing on every down. So now they give him a draw play. They let him rush, get the line up there, then boom, they turn him out and pop Tony Dorsett through on a draw.
Rafferty got the good block on Meisner. Dorsett took advantage of it. On first down. Pass is picked off, intended for Butch Johnson. Leroy Irvin comes out of there with it and still got it, and he might go. Irvin got only to outrun Jim Cooper. Springs chasing. And Springs takes him down from behind at the 3-yard line. Leroy Irvin, and the Rams are in command. 94 yards he went.
I'll tell you, that was a combination of a bad throw. It was thrown behind Butch Johnson, and a good play by Leroy Irvin, who got a good jump on it. Watch it here. Here's Butch Johnson, he's the outside guy. He's going to run an inside move in here in the post. Now watch. Irvin starts in, but the ball's thrown behind Johnson. See, so it was a bad throw behind, but a good jump by Irvin, and then he takes up the field, and he darn near runs it back 100 yards.
Look what a job is done here by Ron Springs. That's Cooper who can't catch him. Now here comes Springs.
I'll tell you, he went for the ball, too. You know, that thing could have popped out of there. He could have saved that.
Nevertheless, it's first and goal Rams at the Cowboy 3.5. The turnovers again. That's the third by the Cowboys, and the Rams in a position to take advantage of another one. Ferragamo. Intended for Barber, and it's incomplete. Jeff Rohr made the dive at the last minute to knock it away from Barber. The Rams were hoping for pass interference, but it didn't happen. John Robinson has to be pretty pleased about what's happening right now. Now you go to Dickerson.
I would think so. That's that looks like the type of thing that the Rams do. They play fake to foul them up. If you don't, then just come back and give it to Eric Dickerson.
To Dickerson. He cuts back inside the 2 and doesn't make it.
He would have made it, though, Pat, had he not been tripped, because he had a hole there. He had his shoulder square, and he was ready to go. Let's watch it from here. He'll go to the left here. I watch him square his shoulders, make the cut. You see, he has it right there, but he just tripped. Had he not tripped, he had that shot to the goal line.
He was in if he didn't trip. They're still at the 3, and it's third and goal from that point. The Rams 21, the Cowboys 10. Would they settle for 3? I'm sure they would. They'll take the big one. Ferragamo in the corner, over the head of David Hill. The Dallas defender had fallen down, and Ferragamo, under pressure from Clinkscale and Huther, just couldn't quite get it there.
He had David Hill wide open, but as you said, Clinkscale again came on the blitz. He was free, and Ferragamo was just throwing the ball away, and in throwing the ball away, he almost threw a touchdown. You know, but that's a place to throw that ball, though. You know, is it the deep part of the corner? Because either your guy gets it. You see the guy fall down? There's David Hill. He's wide open, but Ferragamo's throwing it to that second pylon.
This will be Lansford from 20 yards out with Nolan Trumwell holding. Lansford gets it. And turnovers again, 17 points the Rams have gotten from those turnovers, and they lead the Cowboys 24-10 with 9:07 left to play.
I'm Doug Smith of the Los Angeles Rams, and this is my wife, Debbie. We hope that your holidays are filled with happiness and joy. Happy holidays.
There's Doug Smith, and it looks like it will be indeed for him and the rest of his teammates a happy holiday unless something drastic happens.
Yeah, it's nice to see those offensive linemen in there, those centers and stuff saying happy holiday. When we get the running back, they're nice, but I got those guys right there in the middle of things. Make it happen.
Fellows can't go anywhere. Ivory Sully, who's made just about every tackle for the Rams on kickoffs, makes another one. Not much of a reception now for Danny White and the Dallas offense as they come back out. By the way, that 94-yard interception return by Leroy Irvin is the longest in NFC playoff history. The longest in NFL playoff history was 98 yards by Darrell Ray of the Jets against Cincinnati last year. Here's White back to throw. Gets it out to Dorsett, and Dorsett can only get to about the 28. Jim Collins right there. They're not going to beat him with passes like that.
Well, they aren't, because they have over 8 minutes left. But again, they have to be thinking in terms of 2 scores. You know, they're not going to get it one. They have to get one and then get the ball back and get another one. So that's a totally different type of thinking.
So it'll be 2nd and 5 for the Cowboys, their own 29-yard line. The Rams leading 24-10, and White is back to throw. Gets it out to Dorsett. Herbert Scott in front of him. Mel Owens, the tackler, but Dorsett got enough for the first down, I believe. Yes, he did.
I'll tell you, Jack Youngblood had a heck of a pass rush on that thing, and Jim Cooper held him right in front of the referee. Let's see if we can watch Youngblood here. He's going to take an inside move on Cooper, 61. Look, he starts now, he goes inside. Now watch Cooper. Now he just blocked him down below. That was okay. It looked like he grabbed him down.
He rolled on him at the right time.
Yeah.
Youngblood looking into that backfield. First down, Dallas. White goes back to throw. This is Billy Joe Dupree in his first reception of the day for about 9. Carl Eckern made the stop. It could be the last game. Billy Joe Dupree hasn't really definitely announced that he is quitting, but after 11 years, he says he might.
I'll tell you, in the NFL and professional football, miss the types of guys Billy Joe Dupree is. I mean, he's one of those guys that has not only been a fine player for the Cowboys, but gives so much back. You know, he's one of those community type guys, and they're the special ones that you really miss.
White. Cosby to the rim, 35. Stopped by Eric Harris. 21-yard gain as White is on target to Cosby.
Again, I don't think the Rams can loosen up too much. I think they have to keep the same type of pressure. Maybe bring a linebacker once in a while, because they're getting pretty good pass protection here, giving Danny White time, and then his receivers can work against that loose zone. I think that there's too much time for them not to mix it up.
The time being 6.5 minutes left to play. Cowboy first down at the Ram 34. Los Angeles leading 24-10. Here's White back again. Looks at Dorsett. Goes for Tony Hill. Incomplete after a Walinda juggling act in the end zone. Eric Harris back there.
I'll tell you, Tony Hill was double covered on that one because Eric Harris was there, but so was Johnny Johnson. You see Johnny Johnson coming here. Almost had the interception. Eric Harris did. They had him inside out. He got the ball at his highest point, had it in his hands, and just bobbled it away. That was good coverage.
Excellent. So it's 2nd down and 10. Hill goes out. Pearson goes out. So the wide receivers for Dallas are Butch Johnson on the left and Doug Donnelly on the right. Donnelly can run. They give him a draw play to Dorsett, and he gets nothing. He had no room to run. Carl Eckern tripped him up. Reggie Doss got a hand on him. Crowd unhappy with that play call.
Well, what the Ram ends are doing now on those draws is they're taking inside or pinch moves, and that's what we saw Youngblood do earlier, and Reggie Doss just did on that play.
So it'll be 3rd down and 8. Clock running because of the rushing play. 5:40 left to play. Springs and Newsom.
Cowboys have 2 down.
Big play. From the spread. He has time. Pass is in the air and picked off again by the Rams. Mel Owens comes up with this interception on the ricochet, and that could just about do it.
Landry said last night, he said, we can't live with those turnovers. He was prophetic. They're getting the same thing. He said, we just can't have that. Of course, you never can have that. That's obvious.
4 turnovers now. Here's the interception.
Well, it's tipped before it's intercepted. Good play. Goes up once. The old volleyball thing. They've been around the ball all day.
So it's first down Rams at their own 20. More importantly, they lead 24-10. And let Eric Dickerson just run out the clock. That looks like what they have in mind. Michael Downs came up to make the stop. The Rams win. Of course, they go to play the Redskins. And Detroit goes to San Francisco. There's the Ram bench. Broad back of Jack Youngblood. Reggie Doss next to him. Both have played well today.
There's old Marv Gould. He's the defensive line coach. He's down there telling you, it seemed like Marv had been forever at USC, and he came to the Rams this year, and it's his first year, and he's done a heck of a job. Marv is one of those emotional guys. You know, Marv's always ready to play himself, and he always has that way of getting players to want to go play.
Back to Dickerson, who trips and is taken down again by Downs at the 20.
Eric Dickerson again.
Danny White.
Trips up at the 20-yard line. Down by...
Frustrating day as he talks to Tom Landry.
You know, I'll tell you, you can just see when a quarterback loses his confidence, you can see it in his eyes.
Sure can. So that's what it looks like it will be. Dallas, I think, is taking a timeout. And so they'll...
As he said, you know, Tom's really not an emotional man, and he said that maybe we were too high emotionally, and we could just never recapture it once we lost it.
They give to Dickerson on third down. He's knocked backwards and dragged. And hangs on to David Hill, and now they say we've got the ball, but the Rams will have to punt.
Handoff was to Eric Dickerson.
It's Dickerson, who I believe is hurt. You saw him grab David Hill on the way down. He's holding his right foot. Certainly not sure what it is, but certainly also very hopeful that it's not something that would hamper him.
Well, of course, what he's thinking here is just don't fumble. Just keep the ball. There's David Hill. You see, he runs into David Hill. I think David Hill stepped on his foot because he was starting to drag that thing, and then he fell on from behind from Randy White.
So we'll see. That he stepped on David Hill's foot and maybe in the process sprained his foot.
That's what it was. He stepped on his foot. Let's see if we can see it right here. See, he's coming right there. Now, right there, he stepped on David Hill's foot. Then he twisted his foot as he was going down.
We'll let you know what happened and how serious it is, if we can find out as soon as we can. Misko back to kick. Allen has it bounced to him at midfield. 2 yards, maybe. About 47. They're checking on Eric Dickerson's right ankle. That's what he stepped, where he stepped on David Hill. 39-yard punt by Misko, 2-yard return, 37-yard net. Cowboys quickly out of the huddle. Dickerson over on the sideline. 4:07 left to play. White to Springs. Ron Springs into Ram territory about their 46. 4 minutes now left to play. Cowboys have 2 timeouts remaining. The Rams have all of theirs, and there's an injured Dallas player. It's Howard Richards. Rafferty is the center. Now Richards is out, and Baldinger's the guard. White under pressure, taken down by Charles DeJournay. The third sack of Danny White as the Cowboys hustle back quickly, but the clock is running. Now they stop it at 3:45. DeJournay in there quickly. White looking over to the left. Youngblood struggling back. Here comes another sack. White does get rid of the ball, but they're going to say he's in the grasp. He gets it to Dorsett. George Andrews had White.
That's one thing the Ram defense is doing now. They're keeping pressure pressure on them. You know, they're bringing a linebacker, they're stunning their defensive line, and they're keeping pressure on this Cowboy offense, not just sitting there and letting them throw into those zones with no pass rush.
4th and 14. 4th and 17 to go. Here's White. Up in the pocket, throws for Drew Pearson, and Drew has it at the Ram 30 and hangs on. First down there for Dallas, 30-yard gain. 24-10, the Rams leading with the clock running, 2 minutes, 50 seconds left to play. Less than that now.
28-yard line.
Rams take their time getting back. White. Hill lets it bounce out of bounds.
Danny White's pass intended for Tony Hill, incomplete.
Eric Harris was the defender. Billy Joe Dupree getting the word from Tom Landry now.
I'll tell you, 4th and 17, that was some play here by the Cowboys. The Rams did rush one. We can see Drew Pearson here. He's coming from the outside, keeps working in. He catches it in front of one and on the side of another one. Against that zone defense, he just worked through and found a seam or a hole in there.
That just about saved the season, or maybe for a little while.
It prolonged it.
Yes. Hill was wide right. Here's White back to throw. He has a lot of time this time and throws it out to Drew Pearson and overthrows. That'll be out of bounds. That'll make it 3rd and 10.
White pass intended for Drew Pearson, incomplete.
Again, they have to be thinking in terms of 2 scores. Now with a 3rd down, see, on 2nd down, they could have gone for the end zone. Now on 3rd down, he has 2 downs to pick up 10 yards. So he has to get a 1st down, then go for the end zone, then go for the onside kick, and so on and so on.
And keep watching that clock. It says 2:34 left to play now, and the Rams up by 14 points.
And of course, in playoffs, it's true sudden death. There's no 1 quarter. They just play until someone wins.
Here's White. Springs. Looks like he might be about a yard shy of the 1st down. Carl Eckern was the Ram tackler as the Cowboys hustle up with the clock running at 2:20 left to play.
Cowboys better watch out here on 4th down. You better make sure you have a good play, because if you don't get any more all day.
White, 30-second clock has not run down to where it's serious as yet. Fumble. And he dives forward for perhaps a 1st down. That's very close. A fumble on the 4th down. And the 2-minute warning will be issued now. Let's see if they got the 1st down.
That is a 1st down.
It is a 1st down. The Rams are asking them to measure, but the officials are saying it is enough.
Well, you know, they have that rule. It's not in the last 2 minutes yet, but now 4th down, fumble, last 2 minutes. The only guy that can recover the fumble is the guy who fumbled it. But in this case, it was the center quarterback. Danny White did recover the fumble and did recover it for a 1st down.
Rams have all of theirs. The Cowboys have 2 left. 2 minutes left to play. Danny White. Cosby has the touchdown. Now a penalty marker is down. It's going to be holding against the Cowboys. And they'll have to go to work again. Cosby holding his head.
Doug Cosby can't believe that, but it was thrown by the referee, who's marking it off here, who's behind the quarterback, and it was thrown right in that.
White comes out of the pocket. Chase. Ball is loose. They're saying his arm had started forward and it's incomplete. Mel Owens was chasing Danny White.
Incomplete.
Dick Nolan and Tom Landry watching that clock run down now with 1:47 seconds left to play.
John Robinson's down there trying to calm down his players on that because they were arguing that this was a fumble. Danny White was in the grass there, and I guess he was trying to throw the ball.
His arm did go forward. I don't know who he was trying to throw it to.
I'll tell you, there's a guy who's done a heck of a job in his first year with this team. He came in, the Rams were down. He got Eric Johnson brought in a bunch of new coaches, and they put a new life in this Ram team.
And they're playing like that. Tony Hill. Out of bounds. Incomplete. Vince Newsom was the defender back there with him, but it is incomplete. That'll bring in first 10. Tony Hill down to the right. Danny White up into the pocket. Crosby at the 5 is knocked down hard. 1:20 left to play now. Danny White. Newsom, the intended receiver. Johnny Johnson out there with him. White hit hard.
That was a bad play there by Danny White, because when you only have a minute left, you have to throw the ball in the end zone. It wouldn't do any good to complete the pass out there. You have to get your receivers in the end zone and throw it into the end zone, because you need to score. You have to score, onside kick, get the ball again, and score again. You can't throw short of the end zone in this situation.
51 passes thrown by White today. 31 out of 51. They have not been able to run the ball at all. Tony Hill out wide to the right. Someone jumped, and now the flags go. Rams, of course, are saying we were second and goal at the 2. White back to throw again. Had it to Drew Pearson, and Drew couldn't hang on. Good throw from White. It was right there. Stops it with 1:07 left to play.
And that was an example of maybe if he...
Crosby stays with feet down, and there are no flags this time. Johnny Johnson, the defender. But the Rams get on the scoreboard. The Cowboys get on the scoreboard. Beg your pardon. The Rams are already there.
I'll tell you, that's the third time that Danny White threw the touchdown. It's the second one to Crosby here, and he threw one to Drew Pearson. He dropped. Here, Crosby starts here, goes out, motion left, starts upfield on Johnny Johnson, back in. He goes out, in, up, back in, touchdown. Now they have to make this extra point, then kick and get the onside kick.
Doug Crosby. The touchdown pass from White. Still 1:03 left to play. Septien gets the extra point. 51 yards. They kept it 14 plays and 3 minutes, 4 seconds.
Return team there. This is what you call, the Rams are in what they call an onside prevent. Look at all those guys. They're checking their hands, checking everything, make sure they're warmed up, loose.
Septien lining things up, looking over to his left. He has Walls and Clinkscale and Thurman and Fellows all over there.
This will be exciting.
1:03 left, and here we go. Goes out of bounds. It was touched before it went out of bounds, however. Rams can say we'll take the ball, or they can make them kick it again. Bruce Huther in there arguing. 1:03 left to play. The clock doesn't start, of course, until the ball is touched in the field of play. In this situation, the Rams 24 was hit by Walls, I believe, before it went 10 yards. The Rams have it.
His last touch by the Rams before it went out of bounds. Rams football, first and 10.
Last touch by the Rams before it went out of bounds, and so the Rams take the ball.
I think Nolan Cromwell down there touched him. Let's watch the ball here. It has to go 10 yards. It hasn't gone 10 yards. It's touched by Walls there. Then I think it's Nolan Cromwell. He just punched it out of bounds. Smart play.
Batted it out of bounds, right.
Batted it out of bounds.
So the Rams take it out.
Cromwell said, what'd I do? Was that good? Yeah, good.
Yeah, it was good.
You get to play next week.
That's extra good.
I wonder what the Redskins think. They've probably been watching this game.
Yeah.
They're so used to rooting against the Cowboys. I'm sure they're doing that.
I'm sure they are.
They're rooting for the team that they're going to have to play.
Farrakhan Ferragamo just kneels on the ball. Cromwell just knocked it out of bounds, and it was, as John said. Terry O'Neill's the executive producer. The director, senior producer, first of all, Charles Milton III, the director, as I started to say, Sandy Grossman. Joan Vetrano, the associate producer, and all the rest of our crew who do such an outstanding job. So it looks like the Rams, now with the Cowboys down to one timeout, will be able to run things out. All these guys that you're looking at now, the names, all spent Christmas on the road as we did.
Ferragamo will be able to kneel down one more time and then another time because the Cowboys have one last time out.
Ferragamo does that. And so they take their last one. And those Rams are going to have a happy, happy flight home. Don't forget, here is the situation next Saturday and Sunday. Saturday, the NFL today, Detroit against San Francisco, 3:30 Eastern time, and Sunday, these Rams will be at Washington, 12 noon Eastern time, and that's where we'll be. And they have every reason to be just that happy. In the meantime, it's reevaluation time for Dallas.
Well, it is, and the Rams have an awful lot to be proud of. I mean, they started as a team. They hung together as a team.
They sure did.
Their owner, Georgia Frontieri, did a great job in hiring John Robinson, who in turn did what he had to with these guys.
The final score, Los Angeles Rams 44.
Ferragamo, a winner again at Texas Stadium as he quarterbacks the Rams to a victory over Dallas. And the Rams, in addition to playing great solid defense, took advantage of turnover. Those turnovers will kill you. They always have. Just been informed that Joe Gibbs, the Washington Redskin coach, is standing by to comment on the game with Brent Musburger. And remind you one more time what'll happen.